Let me ask you something. If you were ripped away from your family at a young age, or even as a teenager, how would you feel? Scared? Nervous? Probably all of the above. Now what if you were told you could have a second chance with a happy family? How would you feel then? Over 400,000 kids go through this roller coaster of emotions every day, constantly searching for their forever home. In Michigan alone, over 13,000 kids are in foster care, which is 1/5 of the Ford Field Stadium. While that may only be 1/5 of a large stadium, it is still 13,000 children whose lives are gradually getting more and more hopeless. Statistically, 40 to 50% of those children will never complete high school, and 66% of them will go homeless, go to jail, or die before leaving the foster care system at 18. So why are we still struggling? Why are you giving up on all of your chances to have kids just because they can't be biological? Why do we consider only 40% of these children to have value while sweeping the other 60% under the rug? Kids move from house to house. With kids' moves point, it becomes their routine, where they are not even houses, but just sleeping points. The average child will move 4 to 6 times, while some may have moved more than 15. Why aren't people opening their arms to them? Common misconceptions could include things like older foster kids having issues, and while some may have emotional trauma that they need to work through, they're just regular kids. Other fears could be losing a kid through time, and while every case is different, the chance of continuing to keep in contact with them could be high. Some parents have continued to speak to them up to 10 years later. Maybe you're scared you don't have the resources for it. Well, guess what? You can get help with that too. Foster closets exist solely so you can get those resources at the drop of a hat when needed. The foster parents I've talked to have loved every second of being with their little ones. Foster care has made them feel like parents, even when they can't conceive their own children. And I believe fostering other kids can make people feel like that too. Every day the number of kids is growing more than the number of parents wanting to foster children, and that's an issue. Biological parents of foster kids may be in jail or recovering addicts, and just because those parents are struggling doesn't mean the kids deserve anything less than great. The fear of losing a child after a certain amount of time is real with foster parents, but that isn't always the case. Licensing can take 3 to 12 months, depending on how fast you work, and some people can get the call as little as an hour after being approved. You don't have to do it alone either. So many companies are willing to help you go through this stuff, from providing necessities to after-school activities to even daycare. Resources are everywhere. Foster care is something everyone can do one way or another, whether it be helping at camps or giving speeches or even being a foster parent yourself. So many fears come into place with foster care, and it's okay to be afraid. Who isn't? Who is more afraid though? You, a stable adult, or a kid constantly moving their things in a trash bag? These kids need happy families, they need happy lives, and they need you.